Hello everybody, it's Flesson19 and welcome to the Beta Branch update. Day early, however, with the news that dropped today, I did not want to wait tomorrow and I wanted you guys to know this right away, and that concerns 1.6.3. We did have on the Steam database a live test and a beta test today. Now, I'm not 100% certain if that is a hotfix or that is going to be 1.6.3. I am leaning that it is 1.6.3. So I was very intently watching and did go on the forums to try to get a hold of Dahan, because he seems to be the one that really does communicate with us when it comes to the new patches. In which he did finally respond to us saying that it will not be out this week. So they must have had a problem, from what I'm guessing, from the time that the database rolled out that they did a test to when his message came out. It told me that I believe that they did run into some problem. Now, this is good and bad. The good news is that it most likely means that 1.6.3 is close. So that is a very good sign, and which we could possibly see it next week. Now, the downside to that, in my opinion, is that there is such a small gap between 1.6.2 and 1.6.3 that it concerns me a little bit that they might not have so much of that content in there that I was hoping would be contained in 6.3, like the battle terrain, battle orders. So to me, that is a little bit of a concern. I do not have any word on those features yet, as for some reason Tail World has been extremely quiet this week, and I have not been able to get hardly anything out of Tail World myself. So I'm not exactly certain what's happening. Now, I will say the optimistic side of me will say that they are working so hard right now on trying to get 1.6.3 out that they're all just busy and they're trying to do everything they can to get things taken care of. So I'm going to let my optimistic side come out on this and say that is why they've been quiet and that they're pushing really hard to get 1.6.3 done. As for 1.6.2, they still do not have the culture options fixed in the encyclopedia. They said it was supposed to come out in the next hotfix. The hotfix came out, it didn't happen. And they're hoping that it will come out in the next hotfix. But who knows when that is going to be, if 1.6.3 is getting close, which is kind of bad in my opinion, because it's a very important option, especially if you're looking for somebody that is specific because you want a governor. So I think that's a pretty big option that is missing. It really would be nice to get that back. However, it's just not there. There's also still the crash that is involved in tournaments. If you go to start a tournament, from time to time, you can crash. It has happened to me, I think, only 3 times. And who knows how many tournaments I've done. I'm not exactly certain why it's happening. But just really once in a great while, the game will crash from that. That still has not been fixed either. Now, this is something that I had mentioned in my live stream, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. I've been trying to push to get workshops that are going to be more productive, especially when you're dealing with tanneries and you're dealing with Sturgia. And this is a message that I got from the developers. Before we make individual adjustments like that, we will test and share a broader fix for the workshops. At this moment, there is a bug that stops workshops from producing Tier 1 and Tier 6 items, which means they will just idle when they want to produce them. So what I am thinking that means is going to be things like wool weaveries, smithies, wood workshop that produce all these different items. I'm not sure if we'll count the wool weavery in it. It's a possibility. So when it wants to produce those types of items, they're just going idle. Now, I'm not exactly certain all of them that encompass it, but that is a partial problem they are having right now with workshops, in which it can reduce some workshops a little bit. So I'm thinking that they do need to get that taken care of before we can move on to the next step. I will continue to try to push Tailworld to get that done. Sturgia does need help. Tanneries need help. I do think that olive press and wines presses are going to need a little bit of work now that their value has dropped significantly. So I will continue to work on that. As for 162, just let me reiterate this once again. I believe it is very good path. If you are modding, you obviously do not want to go to it. However, I believe that the performance upgrade from 161 to 162 is significant. I do watch people on YouTube and streamers that are on older patches, and you can see the pausing in their game. However, when I record or when I stream, nobody says anything about mine, and I've even watched some of my playback, and I don't see that. And like I said before, I do not have a very good system. I only have a GTX 1060 video card, 3 gig, an i5 9th gen processor. So I do not have a very powerful system at all, yet I can have virtually all my graphics up. I'm not sure if I have them up right now. Yep, they are back up to high. I got these all up to high, and I don't have hardly any problems, and I can even record and stream with these settings. Now, if I do stream or record with these settings in some sieges, I can get a little bit of pausing because sieges do require a lot more resources than virtually anything in the game. I believe a siege will have more resources used than even a 1,000 army battle on the campaign map. So I believe that the upgrade to 162 is a pretty good idea for people if they are not concerned about modding. But the one thing that I always do recommend is go and back up all your save files. And then that way, if there ever is a problem and you need to roll back to 161, you could just copy all those save files back and you should be good. So hopefully it is a good sign of things to come. They do have the database going, and hopefully they are working to get this things probably in 163. Of course, if I do find anything out, I will let you guys know, especially on the new content that could be contained in 163. But as I said, Tailworld has been extremely quiet lately, even to me. I've had very little communication with the devs over the last week. There just hasn't been much at all. It's been really hard to squeeze information out of them. So I'm not exactly certain. I thought maybe there was another Turkish holiday, but I really don't know. So I wanted to do this a day early just because we did get the word that there wouldn't be 163 this week. And that way, you guys that are playing campaigns, you don't need to worry about if you do go to the new beta branch, starting a new game, just continue to do what you're doing. There shouldn't be anything that you have to worry about for the rest of the weekend, and you guys should be good to go. So that is it for this week. I would like to say thank you to everybody and also to my members of the channel. I greatly appreciate everything that you guys do for me and all the support. I will see you guys next week. As always, take care and thanks for watching.